What's up, guys? I'm back again for another video. As you can see, I've got model railway stuff in the background. Uh, Happy New Year, as I've already done my end of 2018 video with my completion of all of most of the stuff I see this year. As there's still a lot of videos I didn't include in there because otherwise it would have been too long. But in this video, I'm just gonna run you through the sort of like idea for the model railway eras that you could possibly see while I was watching my model railway videos throughout this year, including me. I might film the building process of the layout. That'd be scenics. Might do some like loco detailing, rolling stock detailing, like bits and bobs and stuff like that through the new year and that. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly give you a quick idea on what the new layout's gonna look like, and then that'll be it for this video. Enjoy. So then, guys, this little section over here is 2 foot wide, and this little section here eventually is going to end up being roughly about 14 foot long. So as you can see, this bit here is going to be the main station area. I'm having 6 tracks through it, and then over the back is going to be like a little town scene on the top over there where the shed is. Going to be a wall, maybe like a little multi-story car park, etc. Some like low relief buildings, stuff like that. So the far line over the back there, when it focuses. So the one with the MGR one at the moment is going to be freight coming away from London, going towards places like Tylehurst or Phil. And then the Mark IIs, yet again, will be coming from London, going towards like Penzance, Bristol, etc. The parcels train in front there would also be coming from the same direction. Now the steel train, the other 2 Mark I's, will be coming from places like Bristol and Penzance and working its way towards London. The reason why I've gone with this idea layout is because that little far bit is sort of inspiration idea really from Carlisle with the wall in the background with the freight loop there. And then this little middle bit here is like an inspirational thing from, my home station really, Reading, when it used to have the through line. So as we go around this way, like we're going towards London, so you go underneath the bridge here, which is going to have a town scene on, and then it's going to come out round here, and then just down here, where this junction is going to be a little replica model of the Gasworks tunnel. If you don't know what that is, that's the tunnel outside of King's Cross, which is really long, and I think it's only 50 miles an hour through there. Anyway, so going for the 80s style, which would be my main era with Network Southeast stock, that's when the railway sort of become more complicated with its junctions and stuff. So here I've got these points here, and it goes down into a weird little junction crossover here, so I can go from the inside track to the outside. Obviously, the track isn't fully connected yet because this is just rough idea laying. And then over the back there would be like another wall with maybe some trees on. Just here, just before we go into the next bend, I'm going to go with the box tunnel mouth, just for something cool. All of my tunnel mouths are going to be based off somewhere real world. Well, that's what most of it's going to be anyway. And then on top of this corner here is going to be like a little forest area with like a church in. Stuff like that. As you can see, I've got my 12-ton box vans out because another era I will be modelling would be about late 60s, early 70s. So BR Blue, Westerns and warships and stuff. And then I come around here and you can see the beginning of one of my tunnel mouths, which is the Clayton Junction tunnel mouth, I think it is. And then next to the side here is, funny enough, one of my new Christmas presents, my Hornby 2 How, and there is going to be another little single platform station down the side here, which is going to be third rail linked. And then as we come out of the Clayton Tunnel mouth, as you can see roughly, we've got like a little S-bend type section, which is going to come across here into my home built viaducts, not fully finished in wraps yet. I was going to make a little video on how to make this viaduct, but I didn't feel like it was going to come out this good. But to me, I sort of really like it, so it does the job. I'm going to have like a little river scene underneath it, embankment both sides. Same up here, there's going to be like embankments, maybe a little allotment section over the far end, etc. And then over here is where I will be filming quite a lot. The nuclear flask crane isn't going to be staying there. And the little build, what it is the old Lima crane, just modified to look like a little like the nuclear flask crane from the Dungeness place for nuclear flask, really. But yeah, this is where I'm going to be filming quite a lot. The track over here isn't what it's going to actually look like on the real thing, but just down in front of us where the Western is down here is where my little fueling point section is going to be. And then obviously 2-track main line all the way down, round, and then eventually it's going to go over the bed. Down here is where the main depot, but where the depot will be. So I'm having that Pico shed over near the start is going to be there. Pits, like the little railway pits. A little extension build what I've already built to go on the side of the shed is going to be there. That little office type bit there, that's going to be there. And obviously my 2 kit built fueling points are going to be there as well. Over the far end is going to be a wall, which is going to have warehouses on, which I fully built myself. The graffiti on the warehouses are hand painted as well. So I'm going to quickly cut to a next clip, and that's where I'll show you my warehouses and other modelling stuff. So then, going on about the warehouses, like I said in the like a couple of minutes ago, literally these are all hand built. All of the handrails that you see on the doors are just a little bit of staple folded over. I've got the clips and stuff by using little bits of staple on the gutters, and all, like I said earlier, all of the graffiti is all hand painted and stuff like that. So the first warehouse what I built is this one here, this old Ford warehouse. So you could just see roughly that there's a couple of clips, there's about 3 clips on each one there. And all that is like a little straw from a carton painted matte black, glued on and stuff like that. And then the fire exit doors are just bits of old Bachmann boxes from a Bachmann 66 box, and a little bit of staple just bent into place and then glued in. I do believe that is an American styled Ford sign, but I really liked it, and I thought it would suit the layout as it's an old sort of 80s styled Ford logo anyway. Anyway, so this here is just a random tag I found on a actual warehouse building myself, and I just done a quick sketch of it in a notebook, and then decided to do it in 00 gauge as I really liked it. The iron sort of effect, corrugated iron effect on the top there, I actually made myself. I had to find like a little picture of the corrugated iron, and then I had to copy and paste it loads of times to make an A4 sheet. And then this little brick texture here is like a downloadable print thing where you could just buy it for like 99p and you could print it out as many times as you want. So as you see, this sort of design is going to be copied throughout a lot of my warehouses on the layout. So that's warehouse number 1. Warehouse number 2 isn't finished, but it gives you an idea on how I build them. It does. This is what they look like without any details on. And this one here, because it's going to be a centre warehouse, there's not going to be any gutter on at all. So it's just going to be the 2 fire exit doors, signs, and a little roof arch piece on it. There is going to be a graffiti piece on this, This one here would mostly end up being like a little tag or something like that. So, and this one will be in the middle. Yet again, same build, corrugated iron what I made, downloadable brick sort of texture there. That would just sit in between to close the gap a little. Another one of my warehouses, which is semi-finished, is this one here. This is my B&Q. I know B&Q is normally like an orange and white sort of warehouse build, but I really like the idea of having a B&Q. So same build, just different graffiti style, hand painted. That bit of graffiti might be a little awkward to read, but it actually says skate. Now that is actually my own design, and I did do it in a lot bigger on an A3 piece of paper last year. And it was all rainbow coloured type, like greens, blues, oranges, yellows in there. So, but this one here, I just decided to keep it simple with a black background. I say sort of peach sort of coloured outline and a yellow infill, just to give it a sort of pop, a little effect to it. And as you just can see there roughly, without my shadow getting in the way, the background actually does go down onto the fire exit door. This one hasn't been fitted with the actual handrails yet, and I don't know if it will do, because not all warehouses have fire exit handrails on the outside. Moving on to the next warehouse, which yet again hasn't been finished. This one here is going to have a big graffiti piece on eventually, which is going to say radio. I would get a picture or something of that to chuck in, just so you guys get a rough idea on what the next two warehouses could look like and what sort of graffiti design they're going to have. This one here, I'm thinking of having like a carpet white or something like that, just something simple. Yet again, this one here is going to have no gutters on because it's another centre build. So, literally all my warehouses are just the same thing, just built, but just over and over and over again with different styles. This one here is going to be another end warehouse, hence why it's got the gutters on. And these two tanks, yet again, are hand painted. It's got the handrails fitted, clips on the gutters are all there, and a little Pepsi Cola warehouse, just for something different, I guess. I cut that off a box. Funny enough, it ends up being one of the really old Pepsi logos anyway, and then a Staples there. The little green patches are rare. I've actually had a bit too much glue on the back seam, but to me, I sort of like it. It looks like that little bit of weathering effect to it, so I'm not really bothered about it. But yeah, all of the warehouses are all built exactly the same, exactly the same width, length, height, etc. Now this one here is mostly one of my favourite ones, purely because of the graffiti piece on it. This is a Harvey's, and I've done Harvey's because my dad actually used to work there years ago. Before, well, literally, I think he finished when I was born, really. But yeah, that's why I've done Harvey's. And then exactly the same design. This one's not finished yet, but Kermit the Frog graffiti piece on there, also hand painted. Started off with the background, and then I done the Kermit the Frog, and then I did the little tag next to it. That is another one I drew in a A3 book about 2 years ago, and as it was Kermit the Frog with his middle finger up, I thought it was quite funny to do in 00 gauge. So moving on to other railway scenic bits. In this folder down here, if I could get it, old school folder, but in here, this sort of material stuff here is what I normally use for when it comes to building my is what I use for when it comes to building my warehouses. It's 5mm thick, and you can just cut it out in the shape. As you can see, it was a big bit, but you can see where I've cut the roof out of it. There's lots of bits in there like that. This is one of my sheets I use for the viaduct. It's a medieval stone from a website called Wordsworth Model Railway. These are free downloads. You just print them off on a printer. Quite nice looking. They've got like different sort of brick texture along the top and bottom, just for lining, which is what I've done on the viaduct. And on my warehouses, I use that sort of lining effect. on the warehouses, as you can see at the top of the brick there above the door. It's all different lines and stuff like that, and the same goes on the viaducts. Now I'm going to quickly go through all my the sketches I've gone through for my warehouses and other graffiti design ideas that I had while I was doing the warehouses. So, yet again, all in my A3 book, which I do. So you can see a whole matter of different tags up there, and the ones underlined are the ones I've used. There's a Dr. Dre there, Acid. Dr. Dre might come on the station wall, don't know when. Right, that radio one, that says radioactive. I was going to have that, but I've decided just to stick with the radio idea and have it on one of the other warehouses. So that would be coming soon. And then another one of the tags would be this one here. And it would be this one here that says old. They're the two tags that would be on the other plain warehouse. And then, but I know workers from the Network South East days, and one of them was a signal engineer. And he said one of their jokes whilst he was working was, instead of it being called Network South East, because it was generally quite late, they used to call them not work South East. So I've just done like a little tag that says not work South East, and that would be in the red, blue and grey Network South East colours. And I'm going to have that on the side of my station signal box. And I've been told that someone actually did graffiti the words "not work South East" on the side of the signal box outside Waterloo. And no one, and till this day, the workers back then still don't know who actually done it. As a side project, I have built this little grounded wagon, not painted yet. This is a model rail kit from the magazine, I think it was. Twin vent box van. I did cut the doors off and open them so I could have like pallets and stuff like that, use it as a storage shed. But to do that, I did have to cut bits of sprue off to hold it open so it sits nicely. I did use the humble poly cement. The good thing I like about this is that they've actually gone in and added in that sort of like dented look on the roof of this kit. So, and then this will be in my depot area, and then over near the station or somewhere I'm going to have like an abandoned siding with like a damaged, like fire damaged, like 12-ton box van. I'm having a old BR green, so 60s era parcels van with smashed windows on. That's all scruffy, bits of graffiti on. In that siding, I am planning of having like a little 00 gauge figure looking like he's spray painting on the side of the coach or something with a half finished bit of graffiti on. That wagon or coach, which will be down in there. Like I said, most of my builds are based off real places, so the rough idea with the wall over the back is going to be based off Carlisle. And then the footbridge for the station, the car park for the station, and a lot of the low relief buildings over there is going to be based from Reading, because that's where I'm from. It's just going to make life a lot easier to do. So areas that I'd mainly be focusing on would be Network South East, so 80s era and very early 90s, because that's what most of my stock is. But as you can tell by the two-how and stuff like that, the two hows in BR Blue got withdrawn in 1971. That's when they all got rid of them then. So I'm going to be using that for 70, so I can then, that would be when I bring in the unrefurbished Class 50s, the Blue Westerns, and obviously all of the old freight, and I might knock it back to the 60s so I can run like the odd steam, so Britannia classes, 9Fs, and like green warships and things like that all in there. And then the other era I'll be running then would end up being about 2000 to 2008, so very early EWS. So this is more the introduction to privatisation, that is. So that's when you'll be seeing my EWS 37 in there. More 20s. I've got EWS 56 to run, EWS 08 and stuff like that to run for this era. It's for that A2000s era. So, and then one of my newest buys for the 80s era, but I ordered this on Christmas with my money, is the Helzhang Class 218 Parcels Bubble Unit, DMU. This was on the Hatton's Sale of the Century for £50, but the sale ends today. Very nice detailed model. So that'd be something nice to keep an eye out for throughout the 70s and 80s videos on the layout. So